Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic comes from Elden Fent. Hello, John and crew. You've been saying for a while that you believe Chris Evans will return at some point to the MCU as Captain America again. Well, it looks like he's open to it. While he was promoting Lightyear, he said it would be a challenge and the circumstances would have to be just right, but that he's open to it. What do you think about his comments, and do you still believe he'll be back with the Shield sooner or later? Thanks.
Thanks a lot for saying that in, Eldon. And listen, it's no secret. Like, my all-time favorite comic book character, all time, is Magneto. But my favorite MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe character, has been and continues to this day to be Chris Evans' incarnation of Steve Rogers' Captain America. That character to me is the heartbeat of the MCU. That, along with Tony, who's been very important. I still don't think the MCU has recovered from losing both of those two key. Like, if Chris Evans as Captain America is the heart, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony is the lungs. I mean, it's really hard to see them missing. But I have told you, fear not, everybody. For I have opened my heart and let you know that they'll be back. They will absolutely be back. May not be this year, may not be next year, might not even be in 3 years. But they will both be back. And there have been little whispers and things like that kind of saying to that. And of course, you know, sometimes if it's absolutely 100% sure they're not coming back, no, we're done, we've moved on, blah, they'll say that. But in promoting Lightyear, which, by the way, how good does that movie look? Can't wait to see that in its entirety. In promoting Lightyear, Chris Evans was kind of approached and asked, hey, can you go back to be Captain America again? This is what he said. Chris Evans said the following. He said, that seems to be something people would like to see. I don't want to disappoint anybody, but it's tough to... It was such a good run, and I'm so happy with it. It's so precious to me. It would have to be perfect. It would just be scary to rattle something that is, again, so dear to me. That role means so much to me. So to revisit it, it would be a tall order. Basically, the answer was yes. But he said exactly what all these actors always say. Oh, you know, it would have to be the right script. Oh, they'd have to really get it right. It'd have to be something special. Or in this case, Chris Evans says, it would have to be perfect. And you notice how he started off answering the question? Wow, it really is something people want to see. Okay, Chris, we see you. we see you negotiating with Disney as you're answering. Yeah, oh, wow, me back as Captain America? Yeah, it's totally something people want to see. But, you know, it would have to be perfect. Well, of course they're going to say that. Look, I still stand by this, 1,000%. Because Chris Evans, he is a great performer and a great actor. Yeah, again, we just talked about Knives Out. How good was he in Knives Out? Mm-hmm. How good does he look in that? What's the one he's doing with Ryan Reynolds? Ryan, with the other good Canadian kid, Ryan Gosling?
Mm-hmm.
The Gray Man. He looks so great with that frickin' 1970s porn stash. It looks amazing. I cannot wait to see this movie. And I don't say that often about Netflix movies, but I am really excited. He's a terrific performer, obviously. But he was born to play Steve Rogers. He was just born to play it. And I remember I was lucky enough, I got to be the very first person to interview him after the very first public screening. It was at Comic-Con. They did the first public screening of it. And I got to interview him right after that screening. It was me, CNN, and I think NBC was waiting after me. And I got to chat with him. And I remember him saying, like, I went in for it, and he didn't look like he was going to be the first choice. He said, one of the big things working against me was the fact that I was in another Marvel property movie already. I was Johnny Storm. I was the Human Torch in I almost said the Fantastic and the Furious. In the Fantastic Four. Yes, the Fantastic and the Furious. Coming to you from Vin Diesel soon. In fact, so I didn't know that I'd get it, and he got it, and he has just absolutely owned it. And the other great thing, too, is that not only was he great in the role, but he and Robert Downey Jr. ended up finding a way to create a fantastic chemistry together. I still remember that one scene in Age of Ultron where they're on Clint's farm, and they're starting to have their first argument, and he's holding that log and he rips the log in half.
Yeah.
That's a great scene. They had such great chemistry. So look, yes, it's clear he's going to be back. I'm not saying they're going to make an announcement at this D23 coming up September, but he's going to be back, and that's going to be a damn good day. As a matter of fact, the only thing that'll make me happier is to find out that Henry's coming back as Superman. That'll top this. But other than that, Chris Evans come back as Captain America is it. Chris, you hear this news. You heard his words.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what's he saying to the world? Do you think we will at some point see him back as Captain America?
Oh, I really, really do. And I agree with you here, too. It's a very smart, well-crafted statement too of, yeah, it's wild that people really just resonated with
Wow,
me in that
people
role.
like me.
It's so interesting that that's what the people want. I guess we should give them what they want as long as it's in service to them. Right? It's smart. It's really, really great. But he is so good in this role, and he's taken the Captain America level or thing to a whole nother level in his personal life too. Of he created a website that was all about doing different media research so that you could actually get media that was non-biased, and was doing stories on that so that people could be more informed during election seasons and things like that. He has made it a point to become somebody who does speak on political issues and things as well, which I know a lot of times we don't want actors to do that. But he's become somebody who this is so intrinsically tied to who he is that of course he's coming back to the role. And I love that he's saying that it has to be perfect, and I understand that it needs to be well done for him. But also at the same time, Chris, it's going to be a paycheck thing too, isn't it? And if you get a whole bunch of people wanting you back in a role, I think you've got a little bit more room to negotiate what Disney's going to pay you.
Guys, we want to take just a minute and thank the sponsor of this video, Masterclass. Masterclass is offering classes on a wide variety of topics, like all taught by world-class masters at the absolute tops of their field. Each class is broken down out into individual video lessons, usually like around 10 minutes or so long, and members can explore at their own pace. And each class is supported by downloadable materials, lessons, recipes, or more that you can all find at masterclass.com. For example, are you into streaming? Well, you can take the Building Your Streaming class taught by ninjas so you can sharpen up on your streaming skills. Or if you're interested in independent filmmaking, take independent filmmaking from Academy Award winner Spike Lee. You want to get classes on how to direct? How about from Ron Howard? The very first one I personally looked up and got into was Business Leadership by the great Big Papa Iger, Bob Iger himself. And I was absolutely enthralled with it. I love every single minute of this stuff. If any of those apply to you, you need to try Masterclass. So I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every Masterclass, and as a John Campea Show viewer, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea. Once again, to get 15% off your annual membership, go to masterclass.com/Campea. Rob, you heard Chris's words. What are you thinking about this? Number one, do you think with the ending that he had in Endgame,
he's not dead?
He's not dead.
No.
So do you think he should come back? And do you think he will come back, especially now after hearing his comments here?
Well, in the comics, he was assassinated.
Yes. Shot on the steps of the Capitol.
Shot
Yep.
on the steps, dead. And he came back from that. So
He walked it off.
Look, I mean, I think that here's the thing. In my mind, one, I think absolutely they're going to bring Captain America back in some way, shape, or form. Frankly, I'm surprised we haven't seen old man Steve Rogers come back.
Right.
Even in a consulting position.
He's on the moon, Rob, remember?
Yeah, it's wherever. We're hanging out with Nick Fury with the Skrulls. But I do.
Don't laugh. You could be freaking right about
This is very
that.
true.
Like, I know you're joking and everything, but that might have been like a stroke of genius right there.
You know, what can I say? I'm always dropping gold on this show. But the thing is, I think that there is a way, whether it's the quantum realm or the multiverse or something, there'd be a really interesting way to bring him back. And why not? You know, I mean, I think that they can. I would like to see him come back where it matters. Like, it's not just a cheat. Like, he's not a variant. I'd love to see.
Yes.
I'd love to see the real Captain America, our universe's Captain America. He did go back to return the Infinity Stones.
Yep.
And what if during that journey he actually comes back to our universe for some reason? Because he could have returned at whatever time he
Just
was
put himself
return.
in ice again.
Or
back and
whatever.
puts himself
I mean,
in
he
ice.
was traveling through the quantum realm, so he shows up and he could go on an adventure. But then he could say at the end, "Look, I have to leave now because if I don't complete my journey, the things that are supposed to happen, there's not going to be an old man Rogers. I mean, I have to finish what I'm doing. I've just made a pit stop here." And they could do it so it could actually work and be poignant because we could see him leave again and not necessarily through death. And it could be something interesting and poignant and resonant. And then we're all like, oh, but he's going to go away for the last time now, or maybe not.
By the way, I've had some people when this stuff about Chris Evans come up, especially since Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, well, what about, I mean, Chris Evans come back, but what about Sam Wilson? Well, Sam Wilson is a great character played by Anthony Mackie. Whether the nickname of Sam Wilson's character is Falcon, or whether his nickname is Captain America, or whether he wears a costume that happens to have a star in the middle of it or not, he is still a great character and will still be there. Or, you know, Steve Rogers can come back and he can take on the American Agent name or what, he can take on whatever name he wants, right? So, because they've done that in the comics as well,
of course.
right?
I just don't want it to become a Cher farewell tour. I don't want Chris Evans to come back and be going for the last time 6 times.
Right. And I really liked what they did with Anthony Mackie's character. And my whole thing, I think I like Captain America and the Winter Soldier more than most people did, because I really like that central conflict that they brought forward from the comic book series, The Truth.
Right.
Where he had to decide, should I take on the mantle of Captain America?
Yeah, that was the best part of that show.
I thought it was great. And, the debate that he was having and all of that, and that he earned it. And I would not like to see, somebody come and take that away from him, because I think within the MCU, his journey as Captain America is just beginning. And I think, like you just pointed out, if Steve Rogers were to come back, look, as a kid, I loved Captain America and the Falcon. I love those team up comics. And it'd be kind of neat if Steve Rogers was Falcon, was Anthony Mackie's sidekick for a while. A little reversal of
they still all idolize Steve. I don't know.
I know.
But it brings up a really good question
fun.
that we've seen in a lot of movies and TV shows, which is this philosophical moral dilemma question. Okay, guy goes missing and presumed dead. Couple years pass. His beloved wife moves on, marries again. Guy comes back. They did that in Castaway too, right? But we've seen a lot. That guy comes back. What should she do? I mean,
it happened in Manifest, John.
I don't care what happened in Manifest. But she's now married to this new guy. Should she stay with new guy, or should she go back to who is her husband, just disappear, but isn't actually dead? Big dilemma there. That would kind of maybe be the same thing if Cap comes
I think
back.
there's a lot of great story possibilities there. I mean, look, I just like seeing Chris Evans in that role, because like you said, even one of my favorite scenes in Endgame is just when he's sitting down talking to Natasha about the state of the world.
Yeah.
There's that great moment where just the two of them are conversing, and I would love to bring back Old Man Rogers too. I want to see where's he at now.
I told you he's on the moon.
Yeah, I know he's on the. I know, but I would like to have him opine about the state of the MCU. If they're going to have Secret Wars and Kang is going to show up, or whatever the hell they're going to do.
He should have been in the audience at the Captain America live Broadway show that they showed off in Hawkeye. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about Chris Evans's comments? Do you believe he will come back to be Captain America, Steve Rogers again someday? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there.